they have deployed the National Guard and the Marines. Hey, Jack Squad, this is not our fight. This is not our fight. The rioting and the protests going on in LA, I feel sorry for them. I empathize with them, but this ain't our fight, black people. This ain't our fight. Y'all, we standing down and we're going to keep on line dancing and doing what we do because this is not our fight. Now, when they get rid of all them, is we next? But right now, this is not our fight, right? So the LA riots started Friday. They was throwing boulders, they was throwing rocks, they was setting cars on fire, they was doing all kind of stuff, right? And now the Marines have been deployed. Now, they also said that the Marines have been trained. So I said, well, let me take a look at that. What do they mean they've been training? They've been training for a few days. Are they training to peacefully remove protesters? Are they training to unalive people? Are they training to hurt people? Is this a good training? Is it a bad training? Because Marines are already trained for combat, right? They're already trained for combat, right? Why did you pick the Marines instead of the Army, right? So they also were talking about the National Guard. Now in Texas, they have deployed the National Guard. They haven't went as far as the Marines, but they have the National Guard. In Seattle, I think they have the National Guard as well. Maybe the Marines, I don't know, but they got plans, authorities in action, right? In Atlanta, I did see that they were having a protest, but it looked peaceful, and the police were riding alongside them with it like that looked peaceful. It didn't look violent like the LA. LA, see, they down there with the SAs and the gang leaders and gang members and all kind of stuff. And them people been living their life and they ain't trying to go. Now, what I want to know is two things. One, what is the conversation like in these Latino homes, the Latins for Trump, right? What is the conversation like? Okay, let's just say, and you can't make nobody do nothing, but let's just say all my people was voting for Trump, and so we would have to have a discussion about that every time I saw it, and we would have to come to the round table and discuss your reasoning and try to convince you not to do that. Not saying they didn't do that. Did they? Or did they thought they was exempt, even though he said we're going to build a wall to keep you out? Why did y'all think he was down for y'all? What was the statement that he made that made y'all think y'all was okay with him? He obviously don't like Mexicans. Now, I don't know what the point of sending them immigrants back. I hear people say they're getting all the jobs. Well, they going to work the jobs. They work. I work with them. They work hard. I remember a long time ago, I was working at a hotel at the Marriott, and I worked with a Mexican guy, and we was just cleaning up or something, the dining area. Child, he worked so hard, I want to be like, stop it. Hold up. You're making me look bad. Wait a minute. He was doing so much, right? So, they work, right? They work, and they're going to do things that us black folks ain't going to do, most of us, right? So, like I said, they got a curfew in LA. Now, the curfew is from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. in certain parts. And I was wondering, I knew the curfew was coming because that's what happens when people riot. The curfew follows right after, right? And so I knew that the curfew was coming, but I wondered how they was going to enforce it with LA being so big. Well, they said it's an area downtown from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. And you can come through there if you got some business to do in that area at that time, right? I don't know how they're going to check to see if you had business. I don't know if you look like a rider. I don't know what that looks like, right? But I knew that was going to happen. As I lived in Cincinnati when they rioted years ago. That had to be 90 something in the late 90s, right? And it had to be 90. It might have been 2000 because I left in 2001. It might have been 2001. Matter of fact, it was 2001 because that's when I left. They rioted because they had been unaliving unlawfully black men and pew-pewing them in their back and all kind of stuff, right? And so they rioted. And the next day or two, there was a curfew, right? I don't remember if the National Guard ever came, but I think they did, matter of fact. Yeah, I think they're pretty sure they did because it was a National Guard base, right, in the city anyway. But anyway, they instituted the curfew, and you had to be in your house, not on the porch, not in the backyard, in your house. They didn't want to see people. You had to be in your house by 8 p.m. in the summertime, right? Probably was like August, the height of the summer, right? And I remember I was outside kicking and having a good time. Me and my friends, we got to hurry up and get our drinks up and say our goodbyes and hellos and get in the house, right? So that's from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. It's kind of scary to me, but even though this ain't our fight, it's kind of scary because when you get rid of all them, then what? Then what, right? Are we next? Because if you institute this, because I heard today, I don't know if somebody was interviewing somebody, and they said, well, how long will this last? And they said, as long as it needs to. That scared me. That sent a few little chills through me, right? Because if you arrest all the protesters, then we ain't got no need to be there, right? So, again, I watched Handmaid's Tale. I could only get through the first episode, and I got a little bit of the second, just a little bit, right? And I thought that the Handmaid's Tale was set in the 1600s by the way they was dressed, right? Something far back. No, it was in modern day, right? That's what they were portraying, modern day. Listen, I've always been under the belief that whatever you see on TV, it's either it has happened or will happen, right? I just think that these people in power want us to be controlled. We live in a democracy, right? I saw somewhere that there's some certain group of people, I don't know who it was, I can't remember, but sometimes I just let stuff go out of my head that seems too outlandish, right? That they can arrest you if they feel like it, if you look suspicious. Like, all of this is too much, and it's too much control, and it's taking our democracy away, right? Okay, so again, you get rid of all those people, then who's going to work the fields? Who's going to work the jobs that we don't work? Who's going to do that? I think this is going to be the decline of the economy. Now, some people can say, well, they're going to take it down so they can build it back up. I don't know how that's going to work, right? It's definitely, to me, going to be a decline of the economy because there's certain jobs that folks ain't going to do, that they do nicely. Like here where I'm at, this is a small little town in Indiana, Midwest, all day long. They are in all the restaurants. All the fast foods there and there. And ain't no young kids. Back in the day, it'd be young kids because I had a McDonald's job, right? These are grown folks in all of these restaurants, right? They own some of them. They know the Republics. They everything. They own blocks of property, right? So, I don't know where that leaves us when this is all over with, us as in black folks. But if they're going to send us somewhere, send me over. I got some choices. White House. Send me to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya. Send me to one of them. You can send me anywhere over there in Africa. I like to see black folks anyway. I like to see us anyway. But, that's my preferences, please, sir and ma'am, right? But this thing, to me, is got a bigger consequence or a bigger something. I just feel like it's something bigger on the horizon with this, right? That's just what I feel. I don't know. And I could just, I don't know. I just feel that there's something bigger that can happen behind this. Okay, everybody gone. You got them all deployed. And not deployed, deported, right? You got them all deported. And now what? What else? We going to just sit down and be cool? Is you going to be cool? Because I want to know when he going to be cool. When is he going to be cool and just sit there and be the president? When that's going to happen? Right? You just steadily dismantling stuff. He ain't put the pen down yet, right? Except to go play golf. When is he going to just sit down and be cool? When? Right? I see they deported Simon Gwabadia back to Nigeria. Now, he should be happy. Because like I said, if I had the money, I would be in one of them countries in Africa. One of them I just named. I'm actually trying to set up a trip to go to those three with my travel agent sometime next year, right? If all things go well. The scary part is, okay, can you get back in the country once you go out, right? I don't know what's all this leading to because you got to have a real ID and what's all that. If you go to the license bureau and get your ID, what's the point of the real ID? Did anybody know? What's the point of that, right? So I don't know. I'm just befuddled by all of this. I'm watching it like everybody else is, and we just gonna sit here with our boots on the ground, minding our own business. That's what we gonna do till they come Knock it on out, though. Right now, we're just going to watch it because y'all voted for him. Y'all voted for him. The majority of y'all voted for him. Like, I'm living in a city now where I know all these folks voted for Trump. I know all of them did. You know, almost every house got a flag swinging around, right? I know all these folks voted for Trump. You know, that's probably why I feel uneasy around up and through here. Anyway, y'all, drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all think about all this protesting and ICE raids and deportation situations, right? Like and subscribe. And I go live tonight at 7. And most importantly, make it happen for yourself, child. Make it happen for yourself. Goodbye.